Korbinian, your hockey club's allowed just 12 goals against in the playoffs. How staggering a number is that for you?
Yeah, it's huge, obviously. We try to play very tight defensively, and obviously Macker has been unbelievable so far in the playoffs. So I think it's the whole group, the forwards coming back, putting pressure on their forwards, so it's easier for the D-men to stand up and keeping the puck out of the zone. And just support, talk in the zone. Like the breakouts have been sharp, and I think it makes everything a lot easier if you keep pucks to the outside. And sometimes it looks like they have a lot of possession, but it's a lot of outside possession. So we have a very good and tight defensive zone, and all three zones have been pretty good so far. And I think that's a result, including obviously great goaltending, that we have that low goals against.
In terms of Chicago, it seemed like you were able to impose your physical strength on them. I know it's one game, but what did you get a sense of that mentality against Texas?
Well, we knew they're a physical team too. They have some big bodies who can throw the weight around, and they're coming hard on the forecheck, and they got a 5-man attack, and we got to be aware every time we're out there. And you could see the early minutes of the game, they were trying to set the tone physically, and we just got to weather the storm. And I think we got all the bodies in the lineup that can definitely do that, and we're not afraid of anybody. So I think, like I said, we're just going to match their intensity and try to be physical on our side, because that's our game, and that's what made us successful over the year.
You guys have shown you can play in pressure situations, and I think your penalty killing success allows you to play more aggressively, but would you like to tighten up a little bit against a team that can be offensive?
Oh, absolutely. Like 50 shots against yesterday was way too much. It's just a little thing we got to be aware of. Obviously, they were pushing with 8 minutes or 9 minutes to go. They pulled the goalie, and then they had a lot of PP time. So there's a lot of shots coming, and they had some desperation mode. We got to give them credit. They played really hard, and we just tried to weather the storm. And once again, Macker was unbelievable yesterday. So a lot of shots from the outside, from different angles. So like I said, they just threw everything at the net and just hoping for good things to happen. And that's what you do in the playoffs. So I think like I said, we weathered the storm, and that's a good thing.
What's it like for a defenseman to see the goalie 6-on-4 for, I mean, that was almost 9 minutes in the third period?
Well, yeah, it's different, but hey, it's the playoffs. It doesn't matter if you lose 6-0 or if you tied up and come back. So if they had another PP coming up after they scored the 3-1, so they could easily make it 3-2, and I had a huge chance right before Sammy scored that empty netter. So it's playoffs. It's playoff hockey, and I think you got to expect everything. And they pushed really hard, and we were fortunate enough to pull out the win.
We're talking very seriously here about the postseason, but nice to have some fun around a bit of a different rink in between games as well.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's pretty small. And, yeah, there's not much room out there, and every time, like when we skated there the day before the game, it wasn't much skating, so it was good for me because I'm a big guy, and I take a little while till I get around the rink. So it was good for me, and definitely, if I compare it to Europe, it's probably, I don't know, half the size or something. So it's fun, and keeps the guys loose. And the most important thing is to get some important ice time in and get the guys going. So I think that's a good thing.